Director, Jenna first. And some of the executive producers, Julia Willoughby Mason, Michael Gasparo, Nick Sandow, and the president of Spike TV, Kevin Kay. Another executive producer from Weinstein Company, Harvey Weinstein. And another executive producer, Sean Jay-Z Carter. Thanks, guys. Thanks. So maybe I'll start off, Jenna. You know, I know this sort of. I've been told the rest of the story, and it's shocking to think that this is, you know, kind of just the beginning of his nightmare. It goes on. Do you want to talk a little bit about kind of what unfolds in the remaining parts of the story?
Sure. If it's okay, I'd just like to acknowledge the team that made this, that's actually in the crowd. Could everybody who worked on this stand up, please? So this is the first two episodes. The third episode is going to go into some of Kalief's extensive trial delays, what we call the plea machine, you know, where people are pressured to take guilty pleas, in addition to examining more of his abuses in solitary confinement, which is so much of his case, and what was done wrong to him. In addition, kind of going back in time and realizing that this had happened to his family before. The fourth episode is going to really kind of narrow in on when his case kind of came to this boiling point that the witness had not been found for almost 3 years, and a new judge was brought into the Bronx to clean house, and Kalief is faced with an opportunity to get out with time served, and he has the strength and the fortitude not to. The fifth episode really chronicles his time home, which was, you know, very hard transition. His introduction to Paul Prestia, who, you know, creates this case for him, which becomes a sensation in the news, and so much support comes on his behalf, but he can't seem to overcome the demons that he was facing, and the kind of confluence of this harsh deposition, the exposure in the media, and just the dichotomy of his daily life in the neighborhood he was growing up with, and ultimately his suicide. The sixth episode is going to cover the aftermath, and really these dimensions of time all fall into sync in the present day. And we are with Vanita and the family as they now fight for justice. And
I thought you heard about this.
You know, there's a lot that happens in that episode, and ultimately we lose Vanita. So that's the series.
Yeah. And do you want to talk a little bit about going backwards and, you know, kind of talking about the genesis of this project? You know, so, you know, where did the, you know, original idea to make this a series, and was it always a series, or was it at one point a documentary, or how did that happen?
I think we developed it flexibly. Nick had read the story, I had read the story, Julia, we'd all read the story, and Nick had, you know, wanted to do something for the family, and he contacted Paul Prestia. And from there, you know, we began this journey and developed it in a flexible way that it could be either or. And we brought it to Jay, and the rest was history. Harvey got involved, and Spike, you know, was incredibly committed to this project, and we're here today. So,
yeah. Maybe I'll throw it down to Jay. You know, you had met him, and so when they brought you the project, you know, what was your hope for what they could do with this, and talk a little bit about, you know, what it was like meeting him.
First, I want everyone take a deep breath, because that was a lot to do. That was a lot to take, to watch something like that and know it's real life. And I originally heard about the story, read about it in New Yorker, and I just reached out to Kalief, just you know, just to give him like some encouragement. And it was weird how it happened because I told Shaka, who's here tonight, to reach out and find Kalief for me. And just so happened she went out that night and ran into Paul, just the way life happens. And she called me like, "You're not gonna believe this." And he was in my office the next day. So he comes to the office and, I just wanted to give him some encouragement. He told me he was going to community college. I was very encouraged by his story and his strength, that he was, at the time, what I viewed to be okay. I looked at this young kid and said, man, I was actually, in awe of his strength, that he was standing there. He was proud. He was sitting up straight. And he was talking. And he was laughing. And it seemed that his life was gonna, like it happens in the movies, that he's gonna get his life together and just keep moving on. This is gonna be a bit long. So he, after he leaves that day, we take a picture. I go to LA, I was on tour or something, I run into Rosie O'Donnell in like the Soho House or something. And she comes up to me and say, "You met Kalief?" I was like, man, this guy's, I was really encouraged by that. It's like he's really moving around this world and his energy, and like people are taking to him, and he's gonna be okay. Come to find out that night, we know because we got the text. She had texted him and said, "Man, I just ran into Jay and we were talking about you," and he had committed suicide that night. So for the next couple of weeks, I'm sitting around and I'm saying, man, that's just not how it goes. That's not how life is supposed to happen. This is supposed to turn out differently. And it took me a while. It took me a while to really come to terms with what just happened to this young man. Remember, he's 16 when he gets arrested. They couldn't keep him in jail for 3 years had they convicted him of it back then. He never was convicted, actually ultimately dismissed of this charge. So still couldn't come to terms with it. And one day I see Obama on TV, and he's speaking about Kalief and how, signing into law that minors cannot be in solitary confinement. Mind you, he was in solitary confinement over 800 days. 800 days. And so then these things start happening. And I saw the conversation with Obama. Then, these guys brought me this story. Me and Harvey had just signed our partnership. It everything just started happening in a way where, I was like, oh, he's a prophet. His life was meant to make sure that other kids don't have to go through the same thing, because this is not like a some type of outlier. Like this happens a lot. I know many people. We have to fix it. My friend Tata, Trent Smith is Tata's older brother who passed away, got killed in Rikers over the phone. So the story was all familiar to me. I knew kids growing up, really close to me. So, all these things start happening with this story, and, I just view Kalief as a prophet, and I hope that we all spread the word so everybody can see this and really move this forward. I know it's difficult to watch. It's hard to watch, but it's real life, and it's us. It's the power of us. We are the people, and we are the power that can change this and make sure this doesn't happen to someone else's 16-year-old child.